Hello, Aries. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Aries is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. These readings are totally free. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Aries, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we've got a 6 of Wands. This is a big win for you. This is something that you've been struggling for a long, long time, and you're about to get the gold medal. You're about to win. You're about to claim the crown. Okay? This is something that you've been fighting for. And this is the card of victory, right? Victory after struggle. Victory after a fight. Okay? The fight was part of it. The fight has taught you who you are. It has shown you your true power, your confidence. This is a card of sort of knowing yourself. This is a card that kind of like, you know what you're capable of now. So it's a confidence builder. It's a card of self-awareness. It's a card that's saying, going through the struggle and being victorious, whatever that means exactly for you, has taught you a lot about yourself. Now, the victory can come in many forms. Just waking up in the morning and getting out of bed is a win. Just standing upright, taking a breath of air is a win in the struggle against gravity, right? Everything is a win if we choose to look at it that way. Sometimes when we need a little motivation, we say, what's something that I can do right now today that'll be a win? I can take a deep breath of air. That's a win, So let's put some more cards on the table. Let's get a little perspective, a little context here, right? We got that 7 of Pentacles. So I feel like it's a big win. You're going to claim the crown, but you have this humility about you. Okay? I think you're the type of person that, like, if you were to win the race, you're going to cross the finish line. You're the one that's going to turn around and help everybody else get over too. You're going to reach your hand out to everybody else and start pulling people over. Or you're going to run back and you're going to pick somebody up and you're going to run them over the finish line too. You don't win until everybody sort of wins. You know what I mean? So it's like, for you, I feel like the job's not done until it's done right. And the race isn't over, or the journey isn't over, or like the victory isn't complete until everybody kind of gets to partake of that energy. All right, so it's interesting we get that 7 of Pentacles. There could be some other things going on with the 7 there. Ace of Wands, Queen of Swords, 7 of Wands, Prince of Pentacles. You have a Knight of Swords, 4, there we go, good, that's 4 Wands, that's very good. We have the Magician, very nice, and we have a 4 of Pentacles. Good fire cards today, good earth cards today. We have a little bit of air. We've got our major arcana. We got that Magician. I feel like you, I kind of see something going on here with that 7 of Pentacles, because despite this win, I kind of feel like you still don't believe in yourself all the way, I feel like you got this inner critic. That even though you get the 6 of Pentacles, harmonious, beautiful, resonance, a win, the victory after struggle, right? You still feel like a 7 of Pentacles. 7 of Pentacles is failure. We still feel like we didn't do enough. We still feel like it wasn't good enough, wasn't big enough. I'm not good enough or big enough or strong enough. I could have gotten better. I could have got an A+++, instead of just the A+. I feel like there's that inner critic. And I'm wondering, like, what does it sound like, your inner critic? And whose voice is it? Yeah, I think that's a question we should all ask when we are in those modes of feeling this way, or perhaps looking down upon our own achievements. Whose voice is that really? Okay? Anyway, let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down right over here with big red ant right on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any point during this message you feel like you might know what that card could be, put your prediction in the comments down below. Now, let's look around the room one more time. The one major arcana energy. We have one, right? And it's the magician. It's kind of the best one, right? But it's in the position of like the obstacle. So I kind of feel like we're having a difficult time believing that we are the magician. I'm going to really quickly do an I Ching hexagram for you. Anytime we just get one major arcana card, I kind of want to do an I Ching to help support that card, especially in that position, because it feels like we're not believing that we are the magician here. We're not believing that we can affect change. Even though you're getting this big win, we still kind of feel like I'm getting thrown down on the mat and I've got to keep picking myself. We still feel as if we are, we're failing at something, even though the 6 is like, saying that you're accomplishing your goal. You're becoming that person. You're wearing the crown here. You've done it. But maybe we don't feel like we did it well enough or something, right? Anyway, so magician, hexagram, 42, increasing. It's fruitful to have a direction to go. It's fruitful to cross the great river. In my reading, this position in the spread is the great river card, because this is the obstacle that we have to cross. Okay? And the obstacle here is your belief in yourself, really. So it's fruitful to cross the great river. The old Chinese character for increasing shows a pot filled to overflowing. It means blessing and superabundance. Respond with purpose and movement. Let yourself imagine where you want to be and take the first steps that commit you to getting there. This is how you keep the momentum. What would you do if you knew you were blessed? What if there were no limits? And what could change for the better? Okay, so it might be that what needs to change is our belief in ourselves, right? The magician is capable of change. The magician is the one that committed to something, fought for it, and is achieving it, but then has to also sort of continue to grow, right? We have to keep the momentum, as this card says. Okay, what could change for the better here? Well, I think we really would be you celebrating. What's the one thing we don't see in the reading today? Well, we've got the majors. We've got fire, 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 lots of fire. We've got a couple of air cards, a couple of earth cards. We don't have any water. What's up with that? Why is there no water here? I feel like you're getting this big win, but you're still feeling like it's not enough. I got to keep going. It wasn't big enough. Wasn't good enough. I didn't make enough money. It wasn't everything that it could be. I got to do it again. You're the type of person that's going to create a masterpiece, and then you're going to say, no, throw it away, start over. Delete the file off the laptop, or tear up the drawing or the painting and say, no, I'm going to do it again. Got to start over, got to do it better. Okay? And so there's a lot of fire here, because that's really this kind of yang, overemphasis on the yang energy. There's no yin energy here. There's no water cards. I think we need the water cards. Spirit saying that you have you have a interesting taste in music, or you listen to music that your friends don't like, or something like this. I feel like we need a surge of confidence from this win, right? Whatever's going on in your life now that you're succeeding at, you need to recognize that, because you need to build up your confidence. You need to realize that, yes, you are the magician, and yes, you can apply yourself to your goals, and you can succeed. You need to feel good about that success. I don't know who told you that you weren't enough, all right? Maybe there might be an older female air sign person that sort of is part of that whole thing. Because I feel like you'd bring home like A+ papers, and someone would say, that's not good enough. That's not good enough. That's not good enough. So you're in this very ambitious mindset, right? I don't know the music thing. If maybe you were criticized for music or something, I can relate to that. I mean, Some of my friends still make fun of me because I like 21 Pilots, one of my favorite bands. I heard Tyler's a fan of the show. I don't know if that's true. Heard it from a friend. But anyway, I feel like your thoughts are influenced now by that inner critic. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's an external critic. I feel like it either was or still is somebody that has told you in your life that you're not enough. Okay? Underneath the surface, we see this fire. And this is an Ace of Wands. This is your concentration. This is your attention. This is your commitment. And I feel like this is part of your ambition. It's burning really, really bright. The flame is not being put out. So you're a fierce competitor. You're a fierce, you're a warrior. But I think, like any warrior, where's the poetic side? Where is the relaxation? When do we take off the armor and put down the tools and the weapons? And when do we enjoy our victories? Okay, because what we see is a continued push and fight and more work, and it's like nothing is good enough. I got to keep pushing forward, which is very ambitious, and I think it's very successful. Like, you're probably good at business, you're probably good at sports, you're probably good at competitive things. You're good at even solitary things, like you will push yourself to keep going until something is finished. And even when it's finished, you kind of say, it's not good enough, I need to keep going, right? And so maybe what we do is we end up sort of spoiling something. It's overkill, that we're trying to do too much. We don't know really when to stop and say, nope, it's perfect. It's perfect the way it is, right? Because for you, I think we're always expecting to be the underdog, maybe, or we're always expecting, even when we sort of win the title, you claim the crown, you're still expecting to be challenged, right? So we're always expecting another fight with the Seven of Wands up top, and we're always pushing forward. There's always more to build. And again, this is a very successful, very ambitious thing. I would love to have you on my team. I would love to have you as an employee. I'd love to have you, as a collaborator or something like this, because you have this, feels to me, this ability to keep going. It's kind of this Energizer Bunny sort of vibe. But, as on a personal level, I feel like you need to slow down. You need to enjoy the win. Okay, you have the Queen of Swords in the background. I believe this is an older female energy in your life. Could be a mom, grandma, older sibling, auntie. Could be a teacher. Could be even I don't know, some kind of a caregiver when we were young, babysitter even. I don't know, but I feel like it's somebody that sort of I feel like they meant well, but they sort of influenced you, or they sort of wrote this script for your programming that said, nothing's ever good enough, you need to keep going. You need to keep pushing and pushing and pushing, okay? So there's almost a detached view of things. It's almost like you're kind of looking at your life from this bird's eye view and thinking, I could have done more, could have done faster, rather than being immersed in the winner's circle and feeling good, and really just being present. I think you're sort of looking at it from a distance and saying, no, I could have gone faster, I could have worked harder, I could have done better, I could have made it, it could have been more, right? And then, of course, we're pushing ourselves further and further and further. This is the builder. This is the Prince of Pentacles. It's a commitment. It's a fixed earth energy. It's saying, I'm never leaving the job site. Eventually, we got to go home. We got to rest. A hard day's work, conquer the day. Got to go home and eat and rest and, maybe unwind, watch some TV, take a hot bath. I feel like you've been very sore in your body, but where's the body awareness? Okay? The detached energy of the Queen of Swords is saying that you might not really be so attached to your emotions right now, and you might not be feeling your body. We got to get back in the body here. Okay? And we need to feel, where are you sore? Where do you hold tension? I feel like in the middle of your back is a real sore spot. But it's kind of like the more you keep yourself firm and upright and braced and ready to go, you don't feel it. As soon as you sort of relax your body, it's like, oh gosh, I'm sore. It's kind of like when you're working out and you're at the gym or something. As long as you keep lifting the weights, you're fine. But as soon as you put the weights down and you rest, you start to feel the soreness of your muscles, right? I feel like we need an increase of the body awareness right now. And Spirit's saying something about a long journey. I don't know if you feel your life is a long journey or if you're like literally planning a trip. Okay? I feel like there's kind of a long journey kind of vibe with you. Okay? And it may be that we just don't know when to pause and enjoy the wins. We feel like I just got to get back on the road. I got to keep going forward, keep pushing. The Seven of Wands is kind of an underdog energy. It might be an implication that for your life, you've always seen yourself as being the underdog. Maybe you were, slower than everybody, younger than everybody, shorter than everybody or whatever. And so there was always this feeling like I've got to do more to show that I'm, to show that I belong here or whatever, right? This underdog kind of vibe. And maybe this is something from long ago, childhood, when we're kids or something, and it's sort of spilling over into our adult life now. Okay. And was somebody in your life and somebody in your family an acrobat, or maybe I don't know if it's you, but somebody does like acrobat stuff like tumbling and flips and all these kind of, I don't know, cartwheels and flips and all this kind of stuff, right? Somebody in your life, yeah. Anyway, let's talk about the path of the serpent. And as we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed, please do. The readings are totally free. Okay. The Knight of Swords here. This is your general energy, and I think that this is kind of like this is a mind that is not allowing for any sort of pause, right? It's kind of like we're automatically on to the next thing. It could be you have this Six of Wands, you have this big win in your life, right? And, you're experiencing this life-changing kind of moment, but you can't help but think about what's coming next. What's tomorrow? The race is over. I finished the race. I won the race. What's next? What's tomorrow's race going to be? Okay? Because this is all the knights really are focused on the future. Focusing on the future. Always planning tomorrow's activities without ever really enjoying the wins of today. Okay, so there's a lot of positive aspects of planning. Thinking of, okay, well, what's coming next? What's coming down the line? What do I want to do this week, this month, this year? But there's such thing as sort of focusing too much on the future. That we tend to not experience the present so much because we're always planning and thinking and worrying about what's next. Okay? Now, in the position of your environment, it's the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is a card of sort of, it's the welcome home, but it's also the bon voyage. I feel like as soon as it's like a revolving door. It's almost as soon as you walk in the house, you're heading back out the door again. Like you just come home to sort of change your shoes, and then you're right back out the door. You don't ever linger and enjoy and sort of bask in any energy. It's always in motion. I feel like you're going, right? I feel like your family has some chronic illnesses in the family, and maybe we are sort of the mind that as long as I keep going, as long as I'm always on the move, then some of this stuff won't catch up with me. Yeah. And prayer beads. I don't know if you had them, you put them away, you haven't used them in a long time. Or some kind of a mala, or some kind of almost something like this. This is a Tibetan prayer wheel. But you have some kind of a rosary or a mala or some prayer beads, right? I feel like you haven't used them in a long time. I feel like you've been very, very busy lately. And I feel like this card is kind of saying, like, look, we need to get off this merry-go-round. It's just going, around and around and around. Sometimes we got to just get off, go get a drink of water, relax, put our feet up, unwind. I think you've earned some rest, well-deserved repose. Okay? Now, the difficulty is, of course, the magician energy. You accepting that you're the magician. And it's, in a way, it's kind of, it's saying even though you're getting this big win, even though you're getting this crown, you're kind of getting the victory, whatever it is, you almost like, you don't believe that you did it. So again, it's kind of like you still see yourself as a failure, and you've still got something to prove, even though you're the one that's created this win. We have to remember that we are the magician, okay? And we don't always have to be wearing the same hat, okay? So sometimes the magician even has to kind of go home and take off the winged sandals and, the helmet of invisibility or whatever, and just kind of relax, just kind of be present, because that's the magician, Mercury. It's the messenger of the gods. This is always, in mythology anyway, someone who always has a task, right? Is always traveling. It's the Flash, always sort of speeding around the universe, delivering messages here and there, always getting stuff done, always up to something, right? So a lot of the cards here are kind of showing this need for slowing down, for relaxation, for body awareness, for self-love and self-appreciation, for getting in touch with the emotions again. Because I feel like maybe in your life you have to wear a lot of hats. You feel like you're in charge of a lot of things, or that you have a lot to prove. Okay? The magician is the one that can cause change and conformity with will. So it's you realizing that you're sort of in control of you, that you don't have to keep going nonstop, 24/7, 365 and a quarter. The magician can choose a different pace. The magician can choose a different face, even, right? Different persona. And we might have to take ourselves out of this fiery, yang, ambitious. Maybe we're over-identified with our Aries energy, over-identified with that. Maybe it's important that we sort of we wear the crown, we can claim our inner authority with that emperor energy, but then maybe we have to take off that mask sometimes. The emperor, right, is not always walking around the emperor, walking around the house, wearing all the chains, right? No, sometimes you just got to put your bathrobe on, and you just got to kick your feet up. You can still wear the crown if you want, if it makes you feel good, but we can put on a different persona. We can be somebody else once in a while. You don't always have to be that come from behind, rallying, fighting, underdog kind of, Aries type of energy. Maybe we embrace a different facet of our personality, okay? The Four of Pentacles to me feels like it is a kind of a solidification of things. It's almost a card that's saying, stay home tomorrow. Don't go out and try to conquer everything in the world tomorrow. Find some time for body awareness. Find some time for self-care, self-love. Fortify yourself. Get in touch with your body again. Talk to it. How does it feel? What does it want? What does it need? Right? What is it hungry for? We have this revolving door. As soon as you get in the house, you're right back out again, going and doing something else. This is kind of saying you're going in the house and someone's going to shut the door, keep you in there for a few minutes, force you to relax. Sit down before you fall down kind of energy. Yeah. And I think that's going to be very good for you. Let's look at our mystery card. I want to see some water, gosh darn it. There's got to be something, right? But increasing, right? It's fruitful to have a direction to go. Yeah, you always have a direction to go. So increasing, we're always trying to do more and more and more, and it's never enough, never enough, never enough. So this has to be water. I want a 6 of cups, maybe a 4 even, 9, 10, of course, would be great. Let's see what we have. Another 6 of wands, come on, another one. Another 6 of wands. And so you keep getting, like you're stacking trophies up on your mantle, but you still don't feel like it's enough. Another achievement, another winner circle, another crown for you, right? Look at that, you're wearing the crown. You're the type of person, again, that sort of like wants everybody to succeed. And again, you're like the ultimate team player. You're the person that everybody wants to have on their kickball team or their dodgeball team. Everybody wants you to be their employee or to run their business for them or whatever, because you have that kind of energy. But when do we When do we appreciate ourselves? When do we acknowledge our win, and when do we relax, and when do we recover? When do we rest? You're in the gym all the time. Okay, well, that's, that's great energy, inspiring you are. When do you rest? In order to consolidate and coalesce and crystallize and really kind of be present and acknowledge what you've accomplished. These wins aren't going to mean anything if you don't ever reflect upon them. We need the water energy, okay? Now, we're going to do an extended reading, okay? Because this is a bonus reading, we're just going to go straight into it, okay? No fade out, nothing like that. So, if you want to join the channel and have access to all of the extended readings, click on the link in the corner. There's a link down below. We're going to do an I Ching hexagram again. We're going to do some oracle cards, okay? New readings for Aries, usually on Mondays and Fridays. This is a bonus reading because I feel like someone needs to tell you to slow down. Okay. Be sure to watch both of your other readings anyway. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together. All right, now let's get into the extended reading, okay? Thanks for sticking around for this reading. I appreciate you. I know it's going to be a little bit longer than usual, but I think it's important that everybody gets a little taste of what the extended readings are like, so you can decide for yourself if you wish to join the channel. Joining the channel and subscribing to the channel are different. Subscribing, totally free. All the readings are free. You can get notifications when new readings come out. The schedule's posted. I do the same readings, throughout the week. Joining the channel is kind of it's a special club where you get the extended readings for all zodiac signs for every reading that I do. Okay, so it's just something a little bit extra, okay? Anyway, so hexagram from the I Ching, oracle cards, tarot cards. Let's get into it. You have, of course, you have hexagram number 3. Now, we're going to get our personal commentary and translation of the I Ching, and hexagram 3 is difficulty, right? Clouds and thunder, difficulty, the noble one, accordingly, sorts, warp, and weft. Difficulty, supreme success. It's worthwhile to persevere. It's not at all useful to have a purpose in going. It's worthwhile to appoint delegates. Okay. This is about struggle. This is about frustration. This is about reinforcement, concentration. This is about mustering your energy, right? Minimizing your loss. This is prioritizing. This is an underdog. This is the little sprout under the surface of the earth that's trying to force its way up through the dirt to sprout out into the open, into the sunlight. This is the ultimate 7 of Wands hexagram. The difficulty that no matter what we do, I'm a failure. I got to keep going. I got to keep pushing. I got to rally myself, right? So this is kind of a hexagram that's saying, it's sort of acknowledging, this is where we are. Okay? It says, turn confusion into something orderly. Despite the difficulties, you persist. But you don't start anything new. You're maybe getting assistance. Clouds and thunder, a heavy storm descends on the tender plant that's trying to establish itself. There's a sense of urgency here, offering more promise than self-indulgence can. This is a rite of passage, a need to forget expectations and focus on present realities. The rainy day write-off. Get help by enlisting others and other points of view. No use or need to play the victim. It's best to mark time while seeking assistance. The superior person uses careful analysis to separate order from confusion. So it feels like there are always these obstructions to your progress. Feels like something is always unsettled for you. Okay? There's a need to conserve our energy here. Yeah. Otherwise, I think there's this disunion that is going to prevail, and that is the disunion between your body and your emotions and your consciousness, right? Things are going to be sort of in this disharmony. So the hexagram is really talking about your perception. It's kind of looking at things from your point of view. And it kind of seems like no matter how much you struggle, no matter how much you even win, right? It's never enough. You're never there yet, right? And so it's like you come home, you change your shoes, you go right back out and you keep working because you've never arrived there. And so it really is kind of echoing what we've been talking about in the reading. Yeah. We're going to do an angel number as a mystery card. We'll do an oracle of empowerment. The internal garden. I take time to tend my internal garden. I spend intentional time in meditation and self-care to cultivate my soul. Within myself, I grow the fruit I need for sustenance. That is the ideal. This is what we should be saying, right? But right now, we got the blinders on. Right now, we have this hyperfixation on whatever our work is. This is saying that we need to slow down and get in touch with our body and our emotions. We need to get in touch with our internal garden and see how the plants are doing. We haven't been watering them enough. Okay? So this is what we need to replace that Ace of Wands with. Is now, we'll not even replace it with, we need to turn this card upside down and we need to start putting our attention into us. Instead of paying attention to everything out here, what I need to do out there, all my work, all the challenges, all the competition, all the opponents, all the obstacles out here, we're turning the attention around, upside down card. We're putting it in. So it's introspection this time. Yeah, seeing, well, what's the state of my internal garden? You're worried about the external garden, sure, but we need to take a little bit of time and focus inward. We're going to do an oracle of the radiant sun. We have the organization, okay? And the organization might be an institution. It might be kind of this... well, it's Mercury in Capricorn, right? So I feel like you have tremendous discipline. You're very organized and very well thought out, well planned kind of energy. But in this organization, I don't feel like you've scheduled in any kind of self-care or any kind of repose. It may be that you filled your schedule up too full because it looked good. But now in practice, you're realizing maybe, I hope, that this is too much. It's not sustainable this way. So maybe we have to organize it differently. We have to schedule in time for doing nothing. You know, between 8 and 9 p.m., do nothing, right? Just lounge or something, right? Or meditate or get in touch with your body or get a massage or get one of those massage guns, right, that you can kind of put on your shoulders or whatever. But the organization, right, it looks good on paper, but it's not functioning so well in practice. Yeah, it's going to lead to burnout. Let's do an oracle of creativity. The pitch. Be as clear, concise, and professional as you can be when you explain your ideas to potential associates. The pitch, yeah, so we're focused externally. We're focused on how we're presenting ourselves. We're trying to be, I think you're trying to be the magician as far as your external activities go. We're trying to always, put the right face forward. And being clear and concise and professional. That's sort of the business aspect of the magician. And so I feel like this is, we're always concerned about our outward facing energy. Yeah, I feel like we're always looking out that way and we're seeing people look back at us. So we're seeing ourselves from outside a little bit. And it's sort of making us feel like I better be on my game. I better stand upright. I better stand up straighter. It's like when you catch a glimpse of yourself in the mirror and you realize you're slouching, you're like, oh, I better stand up straight, And so then we're always at attention. We're always standing up straight. We're always feeling like the world is out there and I'm out here in the world and I've got to be always on alert, hyper vigilant. right? At some point, we need to just not worry about how we're being perceived. I'm not pitching anything to you. I'm just being myself, you know, and so we don't have to look at all of our life as this performance where we're having to present ourselves. Everything's a pitch. Every time you talk to somebody, you're pitching yourself to them. It's not that you have a sales pitch, but you're presenting yourself. We need that sacred space in our life where we don't have to do that. We can just let our belly hang out and take our shoes off, put the bathrobe on, kick our feet up, and not worry about it. I'm not pitching anything. I'm not trying to sell myself. I'm not trying to present myself to anybody all the time. You know, that's a lot, right? Let's do a Metatron Oracle card. Oh, there it is. That's the one. And of course, it's self-love and nurture. Jumped right out of the pack. Self-love and nurture is the way forward. Get in touch with your body. Get in touch with your emotions. Have a sacred space, sacred time and space where you can just relax and be you. We can take the mask off. You don't have to always be pitching yourself as that Aries person, you know. Okay, Path of the Serpent. We're going to use the Handel Tarot. Got a couple of volunteers here. We've got the 9 of Swords, the 7 of Swords. We've got a 6 of Swords, and we've got a 2 of Wands, the Dominion. Yeah, I feel like what we're doing is we're keeping ourselves going at this fast pace because we don't want to deal with the voices, right? Or the voice, that inner critic, right? The 9 and the 7 is the inner critic. And we feel like if we keep going, then that inner critic is going to lighten up, like when we're kids. Well, I feel like as long as I keep trying and I keep bringing home good grades, I'm not going to get yelled at by mom and dad. I'm not going to get criticized by my elders here for not being good enough, right? So I got to prove that I'm good enough by keep going. Okay? So that's the narrative that's playing out in our head, and we feel like as long as we keep going and going and going, we're not going to get that criticism. That voice isn't going to be so loud, right? But we realize with the 2 of Wands that we can change this. We have to make a conscious choice to be in control of our energy. Sometimes this 2 of Wands is a card that says stop, right? It's a big X. It's saying stop doing what you're doing and relax and celebrate your win, feel good about it, bring the water energy in, bring the self-love and the nurturing back in, take off the persona, take off the uniform, take off the armor, right? And just relax, you know? The 6 of Swords that we have here on top of our Magician, this is a card of organization. This is a card of like a divine plan, and it really is like literally saying that part of your Magician energy, part of your responsibility is to make sure you take care of yourself. Okay? So it's kind of like saying schedule time and schedule space in order to have that sacred time and sacred space where you can just be yourself, you can relax, you can have the self-care. Okay? Now, our mystery card over here, our angel number 8888, personal power, material and spiritual abundance, wealth, resources, force, balance, confidence, material gain, epic romance. All that is good and pleasant in your life will multiply. Angels are sending the number to reassure you of the prosperity and well-being ahead. Your surroundings will treat you with admiration and respect. Use it for the greater good. So it's, you know, the personal power. It's kind of saying, look, you've made it. People around you are going to treat you with admiration and respect. You got your 6 of Wands. You got it twice. You got the victory twice, right? So accept it. Believe that it's real. Believe that you're enough. Believe that you have accomplished something, and allow yourself to feel good. Allow yourself to enjoy the win, you know, and realize that you are enough. And that you can slow down, you can stop, you can rest, you can recover, you can nurture yourself, you can find other interests, whatever, right? But to realize that that you don't have anything to prove to anybody. Okay. Anyway, I want to thank you for being here. I appreciate you greatly. I love you deeply, and I hope to see you again very soon.